Hey, have you ever wondered about the Dutch colonization of South Africa? It's such a complex and controversial topic.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating, but also troubling part of history. The Dutch East India Company played a significant role in establishing a Dutch presence in the region.
Yes, the Dutch East India Company arrived in the Cape of Good Hope in 1652 and established a refreshment station for ships traveling to the East Indies. Over time, this station evolved into a permanent settlement, leading to the eventual colonization of the area.
Right, and the interactions between the Dutch settlers and the indigenous Khoikhoi people were quite complex. There was a lot of cultural exchange, but also conflicts and tensions.
Definitely. The Dutch settlers, led by figures like Jan van Riebeeck, implemented policies that marginalized the Khoikhoi and later, the Xhosa people, leading to land dispossession and displacement.
And let's not forget about the introduction of slavery by the Dutch. They imported slaves from various parts of Africa and Asia, contributing to the establishment of a racially segregated society in South Africa.
Yes, the impact of slavery on the social fabric of South Africa was profound. The legacy of slavery and the subsequent apartheid system continue to affect the country today.
Absolutely. The Dutch colonization also had a lasting impact on the language and culture of South Africa. Afrikaans, a language derived from Dutch, became widely spoken among the white and mixed-race populations.
It's interesting how language can be a marker of cultural influence. Afrikaans is not only spoken in South Africa, but also in Namibia and some parts of Zimbabwe.
Right, and the Dutch influence extended beyond language. Dutch architectural styles and farming techniques also left a mark on the landscape of South Africa.
Indeed, Dutch colonial architecture is still visible in some parts of the country, especially in towns like Stellenbosch and Cape Town. And the Dutch introduced European farming methods, transforming the agricultural practices in the region.
But it's important to acknowledge the resistance against Dutch colonization as well. Indigenous communities and later, the African population, resisted colonial rule through various forms of protest and rebellion.
Absolutely. The history of South Africa is not just a story of colonization, but also one of resilience and resistance. The struggle against oppression paved the way for the eventual dismantling of apartheid and the establishment of a democratic South Africa.
And it's worth mentioning the role of figures like Nelson Mandela and the anti-apartheid movement in shaping the country's history. Their efforts and sacrifices led to the birth of a new, inclusive South Africa.
Mandela's release from prison in 1990 and subsequent negotiations to end apartheid marked a turning point in South African history. It was a testament to the power of collective action and the importance of dialogue in resolving deep-seated societal issues.
Absolutely. The transition to democracy was a remarkable period, but it also came with challenges, such as reconciling a deeply divided society and addressing the socio-economic disparities created by years of colonialism and apartheid.
It's an ongoing process, and South Africa continues to grapple with these challenges today. The effects of Dutch colonization are still visible in various aspects of the country's social, political, and economic landscape.
Yes, and acknowledging this history is crucial for understanding the complexities of contemporary South Africa. It reminds us of the importance of promoting equality, justice, and reconciliation in societies that have experienced deep historical injustices.
Absolutely. And it also highlights the need for continued efforts to bridge the gaps between different communities and promote a more inclusive and harmonious future for South Africa. Learning from history can guide us toward a more equitable society.